Hey guys, today we're going to talk about optimism and how it can change your life. Stay tuned. I'm Emily Goldthwait. I'm an author and energy healer, and I help people have powerful self-awareness, deep self-compassion, and expanded understanding. Since we are talking about optimism today, I wanted to start out with reading the Webster definition of what optimism is. So in the dictionary, it says, optimism is an inclination to put the most favorable construction upon actions and events or to anticipate the best possible outcome. A few weeks ago, I was deconstructing the word optimism, what I thought it was, what I believed it was, what that word meant to me. And what I came to see was that optimism isn't about ignoring the negative or hard things or always being perky and happy and bubbly and never seeing anything as difficult or upsetting. Optimism is really about holding certainty, faith, or belief that no matter how negative or hard the circumstances may appear, the most optimum outcome is always possible. After you have dissected the word optimism and what it means for you, the next question that arises is, well, why is it important? Why should we strive to have a spirit of optimism as much as possible? And the reason ties back to quantum physics, which is my favorite topic to talk about. And in quantum physics and just regular physics, what it teaches is that your thoughts put out a vibrational frequency. And to the extent that we have been able to measure as a people and a society, everything around us in the physical world, down to its smallest measurable level, is vibrating waves of light. So literally everything around us that appears to be of solid substance is actually a bunch of vibrating waves of light that are organized in such a way that it creates the object we perceive as solid. So when you have thoughts, they generate vibrations. Those vibrations affect the vibrations around you and rearrange them to match what your vibration is putting out. So your thoughts literally reshape and change the physical world. Now, when I first learned this, I'm like, that's pretty wild. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like, could I really change, that desk to be a chair or a bed just by thinking it's different? Like, how far does this extend? And so I was researching that. 5 or 6 years ago, I was listening to a lecture series by Austin Vickers, and it was all about, how to shift your reality and create the outcomes you want. And one of the things he referenced in his work was he had went and researched a bunch of people with dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder. And what these scientists had discovered was as they studied these people with different ego states, when those different ego states shifted up, particularly the ones that weren't aware of other ego states, their body would instantly change. And they would have eye color, hair color that came and went and changed, scars that came and went, and even terminal illnesses, along with a whole lot of other things. You can Google it. It's pretty wild. They would instantly change the minute the ego inside the body changed. And the reason was because whatever ego state had experienced that illness or that scar, the event that scarred them, or whatever it was, whatever they had experienced in their life, that was their reality. And so the moment that ego was fully in control of the body, they instantly had their reality manifest for them, and the body changed to match what that ego believed to be so and what they had experienced in their life. When I heard that, and I had to go Google it, like, this sounds crazy. Like, that's amazing. And how is that even possible to have even terminal illnesses that's killing the body? How can, one ego survive and the other not? Like, I was just like, it raised a lot of questions for me. So I went and Googled it, and there were multiple studies about this and a lot of varying things that can shift with each ego state that shifts. And I was completely amazed at how much power the mind really did have to instantly change the physical world around them based off of the perception of their thoughts. So that is how powerful your mind is. That is how powerful the thoughts that you have running through your head are and how much they affect and shift and change your reality. So if you think about it that way, what thoughts are running through your head, and are they predicting or presuming something positive that's an outcome or something that is negative? And if your thoughts are creating the reality, the ones you're going to focus on the most are going to be the ones that manifest for you the most. I had a friend, and a few months ago, this friend and I decided to go out to a movie. And I'd noticed this friend had lots of negative thought patterns, but I hold space for where people are at, and that's okay. So we go to the theater, and they'd never been to this theater. And in this theater, they have assigned seats. When you buy your tickets, your seats are assigned to you. So we buy our tickets, and I mentioned to this friend, and I was like, one of the things I love about this theater is that it has assigned seats. So even if you get there halfway through the movie or like the last 10 minutes of the movie, you still have your seats because they're assigned to you. And I really like that about this theater. And this friend was like, well, if somebody's sitting in our seats, I have no problem confronting them and telling them to get the heck out of our seats. And I was like, well, okay, that's good. I don't really like confrontation, but I guess if you want to do that, if that ever happened, you could. But I was like, I've never had that problem. At worst, it's been like somebody's scooched over one extra seat and you have to just like, scooch them down. But most of the time, people respect that, your seat is assigned to you and it's not a problem. I've never had a problem with that. So we walk into the movie theater and it's almost completely empty. And our seats are, up at the back. We walk all the way to the back and I look on the row and there's 4 people on the entire row. 1 on this end and 2 on that end. And I'm counting seat numbers. And I'm looking at each of the seat numbers and I get to where the people are and they are sitting exactly in our seats with tons of stuff and all spread out and like settled in, ready to go for the movie. And I was just like, oh no, here we go. And so, my friend walks over to them a little confrontationally and is like, hey, you're in our seats. And I was like, yeah, sorry guys, like these are our seats. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, no problem, we can move. And so they very kindly, nicely like got up and moved and it wasn't a big deal. But we sat down and I looked at my friend and I'm like, you did this. Like, this has never happened to me. I've never had this problem before. No one's ever been in my seats because they're assigned. Anyways, over the course of the evening, this friend continued to make very negative statements about things. And a lot of those negative things kept manifesting. And it started to make me a little nervous to hang out with this friend because they started putting it on me like, hey, like, don't die or don't break a bone. And they were like really serious when they said stuff to me. And I'd be like, whoa, why are you even saying that to me? That's not what we're even talking about. Like, there's nothing to be worried about here. And I started to get really nervous, like, that reality is not mine. Like, nope, I'm a no for that reality. Let's have a positive outlook on life. And I thought a lot about that after that particular outing with a friend and just how consistently they were manifesting the very things that they had said or predicted. Even when it was a hypothetical situation, it would arise. Now, contrasting that with some other friends I have that always have a very upward energy, very positive mental attitude. And this one particular friend has the most incredible good luck. Everywhere they go, like amazing and wonderful things unfold for them. Like free upgrades in rental cars and free upgrades in hotel rooms to like the Pent suite just because they were like there that day. And situations that were actually life-threatening where instead of dying like they should have done, they actually were given like amazing gifts and all this protection and all of these amazing things that happen for them. And they have this incredible outlook on life. And even when very negative things are happening to them, they always hold this space that it's all going to be okay and it's all going to work out and it'll be for the best and they'll get through it. And I thought about how amazing that is. These 2 friends of mine, when compared against each other, how different their life is unfolding for them based off of where their thought patterns are and what they're generating with their attitude and with their outlook on life. So when we focus on disaster, that is what is going to almost always happen in some shape or form. And oftentimes, even if it doesn't happen, we have experienced it as if it did because we held so strongly to that negative image manifesting for us that we have a hard time accepting that that negative thing didn't, and we look to the next negative thing to happen. In contrast, when you focus on the possibility for it to work out, you create it. And your mind becomes this powerful magnet that puts out vibrational frequencies that draws that positivity and those positive outcomes to you more and more frequently and consistently. The more you can maintain an optimistic mindset, the more positive outcomes will generate for you and reinforce that optimism until eventually that optimism will become your natural state of being and will take much less effort to maintain. That is it for today. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, give it a like and also subscribe to my channel, as well as leave a comment below because I love to hear from you guys. And every week I will be putting out videos like this to help people like you have light, love, and joy in your journey. Take care. In Merriam-Webster's definition, no. The Webster definition, why can't I say that word?